Good afternoon. My name is Arshan Baldwin, and I will be presenting to you my instructional design project, Courseware Workshop, Creating Flexible Courses and Flexible Assignments. The instructional design project seeks to create training material for alternative education instructors that provide appropriate remediation to students so that they can complete credit recovery courses in a timely manner. This is a 2-day workshop that teaches instructors how to create flexible courses and flexible assignments. So the needs analysis. Students need basic and foundational skills to complete online learning modules in the alternative setting. Alternative education teachers also need proper training and materials to provide this remediation. And so the goals of the project is to build foundational skills through remediation for our students so that academic credit attainment is achieved through courseware credit recovery. The training structure, again, it's a 2-day workshop. It's in a small group setting, utilizing laptops in the courseware site. There will be paired and individual simulation activities for the training delivery as well as being lecture-based. The training will be revised when necessary after reviewing the workshop summative evaluation data. Excuse me. So goals and objectives. As you can see here, we have some goals and objectives for this workshop. And the overall or overarching goal is that if given the opportunity, these participants of the workshop are going to be able to create these credit recovery courses and flexible assignments. They're going to be aligned to mandatory standards, specific content area standards for the courses as well. And so here we have these goals and objectives being terminal and enabling. We then have our performance agreement, given the opportunity to simulate creating a course with flexible assignments. The workshop learner should be able to demonstrate creating 3 modules with flexible assignments aligned to mandatory specific course content. Now, they will be given the opportunity to do that through paired and small group simulation activities as well as individual simulation activities. They are actually going to create these flexible assignments and courses within courseware over the course of 2 days. So the most challenging part for me during the during this design phase was planning and analysis. I really struggled in the beginning because I saw things through my teacher lens. So I was really seeking, to be honest, I was going to teach these teachers math, who math may not be their certification area, but students need math in these credit recovery courses, and they may be stuck with a teacher who has a social studies certification, or who has an English certification, or a science or an art certification, or whatever. And because these are online courses, they just really need a teacher of record, but it's not helpful for students if teachers can't provide support. And so I got some helpful tips and feedback from my classmates during the discussion boards, and I'm having a conversation with the professor, and I found that I was just kind of going about things all wrong, and I was able to come up with something that was more useful, and so I had to begin again. It was challenging developing lessons without having a strong foundation in planning and analysis. So once I got that down, things began to come together for me. So the lesson plans, just an overview. The Creating Courses with Flexible Assignments workshop will allow instructors to provide remediation for student for credit recovery students while meeting specific course content standards. So we have the materials that are needed for the workshop. We have our media card. Technology is a big piece simply because it's an online recovery site. So each individuals will have laptops. Every participant will have a laptop. We'll need internet access, of course, training manuals, and the workshop PowerPoint. So it starts out, the lesson on day one, it starts out with a case study analysis. Johnny doesn't get it. This was a very powerful piece because everybody has a student, every teacher. It doesn't matter what grade or what content that's being taught. Everyone has a student that doesn't get it. So it takes them back to their classrooms, back to the students that they work with, and it makes them reflect upon what strategies they use and if they were helpful in utilizing these strategies. And so we'll do a case analysis of Johnny doesn't get it, and then it will lead us right into the PowerPoint lecture where we have these courseware flexible assignments and flexible courses that are going to be something that's useful to provide support to students. So it really was is a powerful piece leading into there. The formative assessments will be done. Most of them will be done throughout the lecture. The facilitator has a series of clarifying questions that will be asked throughout the PowerPoint. And again, there will be small group and individual simulation. So this screen here just shows, there's a few screenshots here of what participants see. Of course, it's not all inclusive, but what participants see when they go into the system, what they need to do to create the assignments. This is what they will see in the lecture as the facilitator walks them through how to create these flexible courses, how to create these flexible assignments to ensure that students are receiving appropriate remediation so that they are successful. So, some lesson plan highlights. The greatest part, of day one is probably the PowerPoint presentation, just because, again, the facilitator walks them through how to do it. Participants have their own laptops, and so they're following along as we go. On day two, Rita Pierson's TED Talk, Every Kid Needs a Champion, is the opening piece. It is the gaining attention piece. It's a very powerful piece. I believe that educators become educators because they want to help students. They want them to become successful. And Rita just reminds us as that. She reminds us that we're advocates. I have a special ed certification, and I've worked with special populations. And so, the students in the alternative setting, that's a special population as well. And so, we need to be reminded of why we're here. It kind of gets us fired up a little bit and ready to go and ready to work and bring some meaning into what we're doing. So the proposed implementation strategy, it hasn't been implemented yet, but it will be implemented in the fall. So I'll continue to revamp this as I go and as I utilize this when necessary. So it's going to be implemented in a small group setting with alternative teachers, a couple general education teachers, just so that they learn how to use the courseware. Well, of course, there'll be formative assessments throughout because we want to gauge if they're understanding the information. It'll help to inform instruction for day two or even before the end of day one if we need to go back and address something so that participants of the workshop are successful in creating these flexible assignments and courses. The summative evaluation results will be used for the instructional designer. If necessary, things can be revised, choosing a facilitator that is more exciting or engaging or whatever needs to happen. So we have both the formative and summative evaluations. So this has probably been my most challenging course to date, my most challenging graduate level course. I am actually working on a second master's degree, and I took this course because I thought it would be interesting. And indeed it was interesting, but it was extremely challenging because I had the difficulty of switching from a teacher mindset into the instructional designer mindset. Although they are closely related, they are not the same. As an instructional designer, I learned that I am creating something that someone else can go and teach. I'm, in a sense, creating a lesson plan, a workshop, something someone else will use. I won't necessarily be the one teaching this lesson. And so, it was difficult. My planning and analysis phase, again, it was off to a slow start, a weak start, and it caused me to struggle in this short term. The summer is very condensed, and so it was really a struggle for me to get through this project. But once I kind of strengthened the planning and analysis phase, things started to flow for me much better. So I really did enjoy this course, and I know and I'm confident that I will be able to, I will be able to utilize this in the future and create something uh, else that is useful. So I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.